Hello, everybody.
What's up, you guys?
Welcome to another episode of Where Talk. And today's topic, we're going to talk about, should teachers be able to carry guns inside the classroom?
That's right. Big topic, very controversial topic, I would say. We actually decided to go ahead and talk about this topic because the topic actually came up amongst me and my family. We were kind of talking about it, and we actually had different views on it. So I was like, you know what? Gotta watch my language. This is a good topic to bring up to everyone. So here we are. We decided to go ahead and pull the kids in, kind of get their opinions. We haven't really had a chance to see how they feel. So we just told them about it, asked them, do they want to be part of the video? They said yes, so here we are.
I said okay.
Wow.
You didn't
Okay.
ask me.
This is a Where Talk.
I know.
Where Talk.
Yeah.
So, who wants to go first? The
Yeah, we'll go
children.
to the kids. Yeah.
Go first, Tony.
I was talking to my grandma about this also, and I said, like, what if the teacher gets, like, so mad at the student, like, that they just, I don't know.
Just act
They
crazy.
start,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
going.
would say.
hmm
Yeah.
So
So-
you guys don't want this
Probably
teachers to
some
get-
kids would be scared, like, scared of guns.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But what about if it were a situation where the system was set up so that you didn't know which teacher was able to carry a gun for emergencies? Then you wouldn't know.
That's
So how would you feel about that? Because me personally, I don't feel that the kids should know. Why? For what? It's emergency purposes. So yeah, I'll let you guys finish. But just in that type of scenario, how would you feel? Still no?
No.
Would you guys feel safer if something was to happen and the teacher had the gun, or do you think they should take other actions to make you guys secure? Do you guys feel safe at school right now? Sort of.
I guess.
What is you guys' protocol at school if something happened? Have you guys practiced on anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Tony, what's your school? First, Tony, what's your school protocol?
Like, if there's someone on the campus, like, they just tell us to get under our desk and lock the doors.
Okay, so who locks the door? You guys or the teacher?
Teacher.
Teacher locks the door. And then how do you guys know if somebody's on campus? You guys have a loudspeaker in your room
Yeah.
and all that? Okay.
Same.
And Jaden, what do you guys do?
The same.
The same, you guys get under the desk and lock the doors? That's what you guys do in school? So do you guys feel safe, or do you guys still think that more should be done?
I think that more should be done, I guess.
What would you do? If you were in charge, what would you do, Tony?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I don't know, it's gonna be a question.
Yeah. Like, would you make the school safer? Like, would you make different protocols where people can't just walk on campus? Like, what would you do if you were in charge for you to feel safe, for your
I
kids
would
to
make-
feel safe?
I would make it extra safer.
Mhm.
Extra
Yeah.
safer.
And
But
then,
how? You really don't know how, but you just would try to come up with something.
Electric fans.
electric fence and stuff. You know, make it hard for them to walk on campus. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have-
kids to escape.
Would you have more? Would you guys like if a security guard with a gun be there? What if a security guard was there with a
Yeah.
gun? So like police or something like that, or security guard.
Yeah.
What about you,
Yeah.
Jaden? Like if you were to hear a shooting, would you like for a police officer to be there? Would you feel more safe if a police officer was there already?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
officer.
there you guys. There
What do you
guys
feel
have
about
it.
that?
This is how the kids feel.
How do you feel, Sean?
So, I think mine might take a while, but
So you want me to go?
no. So, pretty much the way that I feel, well, the way that I was feeling, like a while back, was no. I don't think teachers should be able to have guns. But then you've had over maybe like the 2-year period, so many shootings that has happened, and it's one of those situations where you have to think about how long is it going to sit there and take for the police to get there. I think the average is like 6 to 7 or 5 to 7 minutes or somewhere around there. So, for example, think about the shooting that just happened in Florida. it was what, 6 minutes, I think, was the shooting. 6 minutes took I don't know what the shooter's name is, but it was 17 deaths within 6 minutes. So if you kind of do the math, pretty much what it comes out to be is that there's going to be several deaths amongst the shooter on any campus. So with all the shootings, it's kind of made me have a different outlook on it. I do feel that there should be some type of protocol where teachers should be allowed to carry a weapon. Not any teacher, you know. However, if they were to go ahead and say, okay, well, out of a certain amount of teachers, you know, who actually volunteered, because you can't make them, but if they actually volunteer and want to go through the proper steps, maybe do some type of training with police officers or something like that, some real type training, I think that actually might be good. Now, the topic or the thing that came up when I was talking to my family about it was, oh, well, you know, what about in a situation where that teacher is on the other side of the campus and then you have another teacher that's over there? Well, to kind of eliminate that problem where you have a shooter over there and then a teacher on the other side, maybe try to, you know, spread the teachers out in certain areas where they teach, where that's where their classroom will be. If that's the case, then, you know, you'll be able to hopefully eliminate a shooter a lot faster than that, you know, 5 to 7 minute period. I also feel like there's a risk with it. There's a risk with everything. There's pros and cons to everything. Right now, the pro is that we don't have no guns in school. The con is that what? We have shooters that come on campus and nobody can defend themselves but run. So, you know, I feel as though if you were to have trained teachers to be able to actually have a gun, then you might be able to have a chance to reduce the amount of deaths or injuries that happen. Is there a possibility where a teacher can get upset and go ahead and shoot a kid? Yeah, it is possible. Anything is possible nowadays. However, that same teacher can come on campus with their gun and go ahead and do the same thing. So, you know, I don't know if I would really say that this is what can happen, so we shouldn't do this, because we already know what's happening. The fact is that we're having a lot more kids show up with guns, and it hasn't just been the Florida one. It was like the week before then, there was another kid that came on campus, brought a gun, shot himself in the bathroom. I still didn't see the outcome, if it was like a suicide or if it was just an accident. There was another one like the week before then where a kid, I don't know, their backpack dropped or something, but they had a gun in their backpack. The backpack went off, shot 2 kids, thinking they're alive. So, you know, it's ridiculous. You know, we have to look at the fact that it's more than just a person coming on campus as a shooter. We just have random kids just coming to school with a gun. Why? Because they think it's cool, because of, I guess, what they see on TV or videos, or I don't know, but you know, everybody always talks about gun control and this and that. I mean, honestly, how can we really control the amount of guns that is being distributed everywhere? You can get a gun illegal anywhere. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, you know, this is definitely a touchy subject, but if I had to weigh the pros and cons, I would probably say that, you know, try it out. You know, let's see how it works out with, you know, teachers, not all, but just a few selected teachers being able to have a gun, and see if it does reduce the injuries, reduce the deaths. And yeah, oh, and I do agree that none of the kids should know. No kid should know what teacher is able to hold a gun. Like, all that should be, you know, it should definitely be concealed. And even for the teachers, because a lot of the times, especially like my oldest one, his teacher sometimes, to me, tells a little bit too much of what she's supposed to tell. And, you know, and I think I've talked to other parents, and they said the same thing, where like their teachers, you know, kind of tell more of their personal life. When we were young, we didn't have that. All you knew is that our teacher was married and that they had kids. If that's like, that was it. You didn't know all this stuff. So definitely there needs to be some restraint with that. And I don't know, I think I kind of covered all my bases, yeah. But yeah, so that's just my opinion. I think that it doesn't hurt to try it out, see what happens, and yeah, you know, at this point in time, I mean, it's getting worse. So what we're doing isn't working, and so it doesn't hurt to try to go ahead and to do something else. So yeah, that's just my opinion.
My turn?
I told you it was gonna be long, you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep mine a little shorter. But I know for a fact that some colleges, I don't know if some schools, have a system where one person can push the button and the school, all the doors will lock automatically. I think all schools should have that, where if there's a shooter on campus, they can push one button and all the doors automatically lock. I think that our government and politicians should come up with that and find the money to come up with something like that for our schools, and then some of the crap that they do come up with. I think that's one way. But another thing is, with the incident that just happened, the guy pushed the fire alarm. I think there should be some type of code that goes over the loudspeaker to let the teachers know that this is a real or this is fake, and not just automatically just shove his kids outside. I think it should be drills or codes that only the teachers know that this is a real fire drill or this is a prank or whatever. And I think that there should be more understanding and more conversation about this and more training about this amongst the teachers, because the students are going to follow what the teachers do. So if teachers tell you to leave, you're going to leave, you know. So I think it needs to be more, you know, communication and more training with the teachers. For example, like my kids get out early one day a week, and that's the one day they could be training on stuff like this. And no school, no area is exempt from this incident happening. It can happen anywhere.
Yeah, a lot of people.
You had your
feel
30
that.
minutes.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of people think that, oh, you know, I go to a really good school or this or that, and so it's not going to happen. But you know, the news says otherwise.
I was talking to people, and back in our days, you know, kids didn't do that. If you were bullied, you sit there and got revenge. If you were the ugly person, you got revenge of making millions and getting the Lamborghini when you got older. If you were fat, you sit there, and when you got to school, you became the fit and skinny guy. We didn't think about going and shooting, you know, shooting. I guess, you know, I mean, I don't want to go too far because we got another topic talking about bullying that we're going to do, but it's just, we didn't think like that when we were younger. That wasn't the first reaction if you felt bullied or if you felt like people didn't understand you. And I hate to say it, but these parents have to monitor their kids more. Like, you know, if you got to go through their phone, their Facebook, their Instagram, you have every right to. You don't want to be that parent that their kid is the one that killed 17 other kids, or you don't want to have to go through that when you could have prevented that by watching or taking care of or watching your kids a lot more. So, you know, should teachers carry guns? I'm going to say I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about that. But I think it should be better protocols like the lockdown system, or, you know, or the codes for the fire alarm to let them know that it's really going on. Because you can have somebody that passed the psych eval and get the training, and then one day they just snap. We all human, you know, people go through stuff. So I don't know if they should be able to carry it, but I do think they should have. When I was in high school, we had a deputy on campus. If we was late, he was, you know, we were tardy, or we left school, he was there, you know, all that. It should be there. And I guess even though we looked at it like the cop was on campus, but it was there for our safety. And I don't see that. I don't know if they just do it in high school, but but we paying for everything else. Yeah. You know, we that's something we need to look at. The kids are our future. So we need to sit there and care about them more than some of the stuff that these older people care about. You know what I'm saying? So we need to focus on them. So I'm not going to take too long, like my lovely wife, because I know you guys don't want to sit here and do an hour video. But that's just my idea.
This is a really good topic, though.
Yes.
This is a really good topic, a really good subject, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of people to say yes and say no and maybe so. And
ask your kids how they feel. Ask your kids, do they feel safe in school? You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, maybe you need to talk to them and ask them why, and then talk to your school and ask them what is you guys' policy, because you have every right to know that. What is the policy if something happened? What do you guys do? You need to ask your school instead of just sitting there and dropping the kids off and thinking it would never happen, because it can happen. I'm pretty sure those kids in Florida, their parents thought it would never happen. But how many of those parents asked, okay, what is the policy? Ask your kids, what do you guys do if something happened? Because you need to know. You know who do you contact, or who are you able to call us if something happened, or are we able to call you, or what is the school policy if something happened? How do they get in contact with you? That's the information you need to know about your kids, so you don't run around. Something does happen, you don't have to sit there and wait hours to hear from the school to find out if your kids is one of the victims, because I'm pretty sure that's one of the worst things that can happen to you. So just ask. You know, what are you guys' opinion? How do you guys feel about it? Ask your kids how you feel about it. Please comment, you know, and let us know, and let's get this word out there, because it don't seem like it's going nowhere, and every policy they come up with, they find a way around it. So let us know what you think. Once again, write it in the comments area. You know, check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Where Family 112. If you guys got a topic or something you guys want to talk about along these lines, or something else, and you guys just want to get other people's opinion, just let us know, and we'll put it out there for you, and we'll have the content out there for you. But this is a serious topic, and, you know, we would like feedback, so, you know, it can have a conversation so we all can understand. I have one of my Facebook friends, he said that his son said one of his students was going to bring a gun to school, and he didn't let his son go to school the next day, and it was in Quartz Hill.
But did he report it?
Yeah, he went on Facebook Live. He got a lot of views, so hopefully he reported. I don't know if he did, but you know, people are up, you know, really interested in what's going on, because that's your kids. And if these kids are making these threats, don't take it lightly. That nowadays you can't take that stuff lightly.
You'd rather go ahead and over exaggerate this, or not over exaggerate the situation, but you'd rather go ahead and report it and make a big deal about it than to not do it, and then all of a sudden now you have a shooting. Because, you know, a lot of times people, they say, oh, you know, that person, they just talking, they just blowing off steam. No, nowadays you have to go ahead and you have to take it serious, because people are actually reacting off of it. So, and to kind of like add on to what you said, I do think that it's a really good idea for people to go ahead and actually find out what the protocols are. What was it, I think it was just the beginning of last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, when that officer got shot. So there was an officer that got shot near Jaden's school, and the protocol was to go ahead and to shut down. Well, guess what? We were able to get our kid. And it wasn't until some of I think the deputies or the sheriffs got on campus, when they went ahead and told the principal and just told the staff or whatever that, no, like, you guys are supposed to shut this down. These people aren't supposed to be able to get their kids. So, you know, it's things like that where, you know, again, you think that they have it under control, but they don't have it under control. We got our kid, which it was good. Everything worked out good. You know, none of the kids got hurt. But, you know, it's a prime example like that where, you know, you think that they're prepared and you think that they're ready, but nobody's really actually ever ready for it. And that was the like perfect situation where it was like, dang, you know, we weren't supposed to be able to get him, but we were able to. And so there was like a ton of parents trying to get their kids. And, you know, so.
The biggest thing, talk to your kids, talk to your school, find out, comment on this, let us know how you feel, let us know what your kids' policy, let us know if they do have the lockdown system, and probably if this not only in California, but everywhere, if they don't, try to fight for that, you know, in your area, that this is serious, it can happen anywhere, and your school is not exempt, your area is not exempt, you know, crazy come in all different shapes, colors, and sizes, so don't sit there and take it for granted. These are your kids, the number one thing in your life that you should be worried about. So let's keep the focus on them. And we're going to wrap this video up. Jaden, you have anything to say?
About that lockdown thing that you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
What about if there's kids in the hallway and they need somewhere to go?
They're supposed to run in the classroom. It don't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah, at that
But
that
what
moment in
about
time.
if they're already.
Well, that's why you have to do training, and that's how you have to do like a code or that you know what I'm saying, something that I understand what you're saying. You don't want kids to be locked in the hallway, and that's true.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to have a code or some type of training. If that does happen, you have a designated class that they can run to or a designated area they can run to where they can go in and lock the door inside. You know, that won't be automatically locked down. They can run there, they can lock the door. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why it takes, you know, it shouldn't be a once a quarter training. It should be at least, you know, once,
Should be
twice,
more
3
often.
times every training to let you
it
know
really needs to be
for
more
all
often.
and for the whole school, not just for one age group, for the whole school. So it's a good question, Jaden. So I think that should
Or
be training.
even like for the parents and stuff, it's
Yeah.
just like, what do we do?
Yeah.
You know,
We
do
run into
sit-
the school, so
I
we don't know. We looking, we scared,
My baby.
we worried, we run into the school, we trying to break down gates, trying to run down barriers to find our kids. So we should know the protocol for us too.
That
So
is kind of like how it was.
Exactly.
As soon as we got word, we pulled it up on the news. Saw it was on the news. We was in the car in a split second to go get our
Yeah.
son. So, and that's another thing. Like when that happens and you try to call the school, from experience, the line is going to be busy. You're not going to be able to get through.
yeah,
So I guess just to kind of add, well, it's kind of getting a little long, but that's where the whole cell phone thing comes in really good. I think it was some other kind of shooting or whatever where they said that a lot of the parents, they couldn't get in touch with their kids through the school. Well, guess what? They were able to get in touch with their kids because they had cell phones and they were able to text them or call them. I forgot what shooting it was, but
Mhm.
you know, so I don't know.
Tony, got any other questions or comments?
No.
You good? All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap this video up. Leave comments. Like I said, check us out on all social media. If you have any questions that you want us to ask, please let us know. You know, DM us, write us a message or whatever. And also, you can email us at wherefamily112@gmail.
Yeah.
So you know, like I said, we here to spark the conversation in all topics, man. So just let us know. And with that being said,
We're
where
out.